Hey folks, I'm David G, and today we'll be looking at how to get the best possible prices on business class flight tickets. Business class is not only for the rich and famous, and in this video you'll get all the information you need to find great deals on premium class airfare. So no matter who you are, if you're looking to fly in style, then this video is for you. And if you happen to be rich or famous, well, the tips I'm sharing in this video will help you too. But I'm definitely not rich or famous, and I've still been able to use all of the stuff that I'm going over in this video to book tons of great business class deals. The last tip I'll go over even got me lie-flat business class seats from Australia to Japan for just $66, so stay tuned for that. But for now, just sit back, click that like button, and let's elevate your travel game together. A really important factor in finding cheap business class tickets is when you start your search. And the best time to start your search is right when you know that you're going to need to book flights. When looking for business class deals, I find that a useful rule of thumb is to start your search at least 6 months before your travel dates. This will give you enough time to monitor prices and book when the right price becomes available. Sometimes the first time that you search, you do just find great prices and book them right then. But you can't always be lucky. And still, it's really important to know where to search. And for the average traveler just looking to add some business class pizzazz to their trip, or for someone just looking to avoid that economy class backache, Google Flights is going to be your best first place to start searching. Now keep in mind that right now we're just talking about how to search for the best deals for your business class flights. Later on in this video, we'll get into how to actually book them. On the Google Flights website, it's simple to search for the flights that you want. You just put in the route that you want to fly on, the dates that you want to fly it on, and make sure that you switch economy to business. If the flights that show up are already at a good price, then it may be time to book. But the chances are highest that they're not. And the best thing to do next is to use one of the most useful functions on Google Flights: flight alerts. You can set an alert for a wider search or just watch a specific flight routing. And while there may be reasons that you need to fly on specific flights, if possible, I always go for the wider search alerts. This gives me access to the widest amount of potential business class deals. And when considering which flights are best to book in business class, keep in mind that more often than not, business class tickets for flights with layovers will cost less than flying a nonstop route. And when that's the case, it's important to consider the value you place on flying nonstop versus with layovers. If you're looking to fly a premium class on a long flight because it's difficult for you to do in economy, you might really find value in sticking to a nonstop routing. But if you're just looking for the experience of flying a premium class while seeking out the best deal to do so, definitely consider routings with layovers. And keep in mind that most business class tickets will get you into lounges for free. So what some look at as a pesky layover, others might see as an opportunity to check out more lounges and experience a premium class on more than one aircraft. But sometimes business class tickets can just be a bad deal. And there's a great way around that. Even if you book an economy ticket, you still may have the opportunity to fly business class. This is because most airlines offer passengers the chance to pay to upgrade to a higher class of service. I've seen paid upgrades for as little as $300 on transatlantic flights, and even for less than $100 on shorter flights. But for shorter flights, keep in mind that business class or first class usually doesn't really compare to what you'll get on longer flights. That said, sometimes paid upgrades are not available. And sometimes they are available, but they're not a better deal. So you'll want to check the difference in price between business and economy on the flights that you're looking at, and then compare that to the price of an upgrade. Sometimes airlines will send out special offers for paid upgrades too, so I always keep an eye out for those. And on the topic of keeping an eye out, it's really useful to keep track of the current offerings from airlines that you're likely to fly. And the best way to stay in the know on exclusive deals is to subscribe to airline newsletters and follow them on social media. Often airlines will have a lot of business class seats to fill during less popular travel times. But you may only hear about price drops if you're subscribed or following that airline. Google Alerts can sometimes circumvent this issue, but many times airlines will send out their own promotional codes that won't be reflected on Google Flights. So for the best chance of scoring a great business class deal, do both. Another useful way to save money on business class flights is to consider booking only some of your flights in business class. This one is definitely a compromise. But at the same time, if you can save a ton of money by still having lie-flat business class seats on your long-haul flights and settling for economy class on shorter flights, you'd be coming out on top in my view. There are many scenarios as to when this can be the right way to go. But But to get a good idea of ways to save by booking some of your flights in economy, there are a few things you can search for pretty easily. First off, it's a good idea to consider nearby airports that you wouldn't usually fly from. And on top of that, you can look at airports in neighboring regions and even neighboring countries. If it's $1,000 cheaper to fly you out in business class from another airport, and it costs you much less than $1,000 to get to that other airport, then that could be a great way to save. What this looks like depends greatly on where you're departing from. But a popular method for saving on business class is to book economy flights to and from an airport that has significantly cheaper business class tickets. These are often referred to as feeder flights. And you could also use this method for your arrival airport. If business class flights to Seoul, South Korea are $2,000 cheaper than the ones to Japan, but you want to go to Japan, why not book to Seoul, see 2 countries instead of 1, and separately book some cheap economy flights to and from Japan? But sometimes it may be a better deal to just book 1 flight in business class. Say you really want to fly lie-flat business class from North America to Europe so that you can get some sleep on the overnight flight. Depending on current pricing and availability, you could try searching for a round-trip itinerary with the flight from Europe to North America in economy or premium economy. But then for the return leg, simply search for business. Sometimes this can even save you more than half off what you'd have to pay if you book the whole itinerary in business class. And whenever possible, book your flights directly with the airline for better customer support and increased flexibility. If you don't book directly with the airline, there's an increased chance of running into all sorts of unnecessary issues. While airlines are mostly straightforward to reach out to, third-party websites may not be. So while using other websites may be a great way to search for awesome business class deals, always aim to book direct with the airline. And by using the first 9 business class tips we went over, there are a lot of great ways to book business class tickets without breaking the bank. But there's one other way that even many experienced globetrotters don't take advantage of. And although I have saved tens of thousands of dollars using what we've gone over already, there is another way to book business class tickets for huge savings that it would be a shame not to consider. This travel hack even got me flights between Melbourne, Australia and Japan in business class on Qantas and Japan Airlines for $66. All I had to do was book my flights using American Airlines miles, 40,000 of them to be exact. And I earned those miles plus 20,000 more simply by making one purchase on a credit card and paying a $99 annual fee. In short, when you use points or miles to book business class tickets, you can often get around paying huge prices for them. Those same exact flights that I flew from Australia to Japan would have at least cost $2,000 had I booked them with cash. And drop a comment if you've also booked a great business class deal. We'd love to hear about it. But with all that in mind, many of the tips that I mentioned in this video will also help you find cheaper tickets in other classes of travel. But there are still some more great ways to find cheap airfare. And most of the time, the actual process for searching for business class tickets and economy class tickets is pretty much the same. So if you'd like some more insight into finding the best prices regardless of the class that you're flying, I've got another video for you, and you can watch it right now for free. And another free thing you can do to help get this video to as many travelers as possible is to give it a like and drop a comment if you've got any questions or comments that you'd like to share with our community here. That's all for this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Happy travels till then.